For our fourth art masterpiece lesson, we will be learning about a French artist named Henri Rousseau. Henri Rousseau is a French artist most well known for the jungle themes in which most of the pieces that he created took place. He is also a French post-impressionist painter in the naive or primitive matter. Post-impressionism is a French art movement that developed between 1886 and 1905. This art movement was about bringing importance to formal structure and emphasizing the possibilities of form and color. Henri Rousseau was born in Laval, Maine, France on May 21, 1844. That was 175 years ago. When Henri was a young boy, he was not what you would call a very good student. However, he won prizes for his drawing and music talent. And as a young man, Henri spent 4 years serving in the French army. But he decided that he was not a military man and chose that to not be his career. When Henri returned home from his military service, he married his landlord's daughter. Together, they had 6 children. Rousseau began his career as a civil servant working in a toll house. He collected money from the local farmers who brought their merchandise into the Paris markets. From this, Rousseau was also known as Le Douanier, which means the customs officer. It was a funny description of his occupation as a toll and tax collector. When Rousseau had days off of work, he would paint pictures from his drawings. Over his lifetime, he painted many wildlife scenes. Henri imagined faraway countries where he had never been. To help him draw exotic animals and plants, Henri used to visit the botanical gardens and the zoo in Paris for inspiration. Rousseau famously claimed that he had no teacher other than nature. He never had a formal art education at all. Instead, Rousseau taught himself by copying paintings in the art museums of Paris. Because he was self-taught, the art world considered Rousseau a folk artist. This was because he had no formal art training or art education, and thus the term folk artist. Pablo Picasso, who was a very famous painter, came across a painting by Rousseau being sold on the street as a canvas to be painted over. Pablo Picasso, who was much younger than Henri, immediately recognized Rousseau's work and talent and went to meet him. Pablo Picasso is an artist that you will be learning about later on in your art masterpiece sessions. Pablo Picasso is famous for inventing the Cubist movement in the art world. On September 2nd, 1910, at 66 years old, Henri Rousseau passed away. The cause of his death was blood poisoning. For today's artwork, we will be attempting to replicate one of Henri Rousseau's most famous paintings called Surprised, Storm in the Forest. Let's look at this painting here in detail, a moment on the screen. This is one of his first jungle paintings, and it's the one he is best known for. This painting was purchased in 1972 by the National Gallery in London, and it's where it is still located today. When you look at this jungle painting, what do you see? Do you see what the tiger is doing? What does the texture look like? Can you notice that the tiger's prey is beyond the edge of the canvas? So the viewer of the painting is left to wonder and use their imagination to decide if the tiger will catch his prey or what the outcome will be. I think that's why Rousseau named it Surprise. Do any of you see the lightning? For the artwork instructions, please listen to the following directions carefully, please, class. Each student will be given a piece of white construction paper. Please write your name on it. You will be creating a jungle scene today by using crayons or colored pencils and paint. Use either your colored crayons or pencils to draw a jungle animal. It does not have to be a tiger. You can choose what animal you want to draw. You can also draw more than one jungle animal if you would like. After you draw your jungle animal, please draw a jungle scene in the background. The scene can include jungle trees, branches, vines, and ground cover. On the jungle trees, please, this is very important, do not draw leaves at all. We will be stamping the leaves on the jungle trees once your jungle scene is complete. The parent helpers will have the stamping station set up for you to come up to. Try to use mostly greens for your leaves and maybe one exotic color for a pop. Please pay attention and do not overlap different colors too closely, or the paint colors will become muddied. This is very important. Once a leaf has been dipped in one color of paint, it should not be dipped into any other color. This way, we can preserve the stamps and best results for your artwork. Emphasis added. The parent helpers will then pick up your artwork once done to set aside to dry. Thank you for listening, and let's have some fun now.